Blast, Y94, and some TMI in the TRQ. Just pulled this totally random question moments ago. What TMI have you recently been told? Anybody share a little TMI with you?
So I know TMI, when people think of it, they usually think of something that's like, ew, you shouldn't probably be sharing that detail. I think for this TMI, it's too much information was given out, and now I've caught someone in something.
Really?
So my sister is getting a new cat. And so I was talking with my nieces about what they want to name the cat. And they're going through the names and just joking around. I said, why don't you name the cat Brooks? And my niece said, we can't name it Brooks. And I said, why? And she said, I don't like that name. And I said, you don't like Brooks' name? And she said, well, not me, but Mom.
Oh, no.
And I said, your mom does not like my son's name. And then she got really embarrassed and handed the phone over to her mom. And my sister is trying to explain herself. And I said, no, your daughter heard you clearly say you don't like Brooke's name. And she remembered that little bit of info.
That's a delicious, juicy little nugget. Oh, no.
And then I said, you want to talk about names that suck? How about the name Julia? Because that's my sister's name.
It does suck. At least you didn't say your niece's name while she was FaceTime.
I was furious. And I almost said, you want to know a name I don't like? Harper. And that's my niece's name. And that's the one who ratted her out. But I thought, take the higher road, attack your sister.
Good job. Very good.
And my sister's like, I really didn't say that. And then my niece started crying because it caused a huge argument. And I thought, that's TMI. She shared a little bit too much info with my niece, who then shared it back to me.
That's pretty good TMI right there. That's
no,
good.
It was not good, and I'm still
Juicy.
hurt.
Well, what's it matter? It's not her kid.
She doesn't like my son's name.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people that won't as his life goes on.
What?
Not everybody likes the name Amy. Not everybody likes the name Zero.
I guess, but I don't want to hear that from my own sister.
I don't even like the name Zero. I didn't intend to keep it for this long. It just happens.
Oh, I guess not everyone's going to like the name, but it still hurts hearing it from a little child.
Brooks is a stand-up name.
Thank you.
It's a very, very good name.
So is Zero.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Would you have a little TMI?
Oh, I have a neighbor that every time I see her, she wants to know if her teeth look like dentures because she had a root canal. And she tells me how much it got fixed and what got done and how do they look like dentures? Do they look like dentures? And then I'll just walk down the hall or get off the elevator and she's like, how do they look? Do they look okay?
I mean, how many times can you share an opinion on these teeth?
I every time I see her, I have to look at her mouth because I know what's going to come out of it. And I know that she's going to keep asking me. But I think she's a little crazy. I think she's a little nuts. It's everything. I hear about everything. And she said, well, the other day you mentioned that you thought that they were dentures. So now I think about it all the time. And now I got to tell you that I went to the dentist and I had them out. But they're caps. They're not dentures. They're just caps.
Well, you did it to yourself. You answered the wrong way the first time. You did this.
I don't get why she thinks they look like dentures. She had a root canal.
I think somebody got some caps on some stuff.
I have a root canal. I don't think my tooth looks, it's way in the back, but I don't think it looks denture-like.
No. The mistake you made is it sounds like the first time she asked you about it, you answered in a way that made her self-conscious, so now she keeps coming back to you.
That's all she can think about every time she sees you. There's a lady who thinks I have dentures.
You need to pull them. They're really teeth. Just pull. Pick one and pull. Just like the beard in Miracle on 34th Street. Just pull.
I do feel bad for her because this lady got in her head.
Yeah, you scarred her. You've brought this TMI to your life.
Yeah, you're the problem. Someone said, my daughter told our neighbor, my dad snores so loud that mom sometimes sleeps in another room. First of all, rude. Second of all, accurate. But kids will expose your entire household without hesitation.
TMI. When did you get a little bit of TMI?
Oh my gosh. I was at the gym and there was this chick on the elliptical next to me. And, just casually,
Okay.
Hey, trying to burn some calories, getting fit. And then all of a sudden, before I knew what she was telling me, every little bit of information of her personal life and about some rash that she had gotten. And I was like, okay, how do I get off this elliptical machine without being rude? I need to finish my workout. And this is my gym. I'm like, am I going to see this person in the locker room? I thought it was so bizarre, but I was like, ew.
Yeah, you don't need to know that.
Why would you share details about a rash?
I have this rash on me. Don't use the machine after her. I'll tell you that right now.
That's what I was thinking.
Is that what she was warning you? Like, you're not going to want to sit here?
But still.
Oh.
So maybe you shouldn't be at the gym.
Maybe no.
Ew.
Hey, just so you know, I'm not going to wipe this and I have a crazy gnarly rash. You might not want to use it afterwards. I'm just going to leave the gym at this point now.
Yeah, gross.
That's so nasty, though.
Someone said my friend is the queen of TMI. We were all having dinner and she casually starts telling us about her doctor's appointment in very specific detail. Everyone was eating and she's describing things no one needed to know. We finally had to say, we love you, but please stop talking while we're eating. Someone said my wife asked why I was taking so long in the bathroom, and instead of just saying I needed a minute, I gave her a full explanation of what was happening.
Ugh.
Halfway through, I realized I was oversharing. The look on her face was like, I did not ask for all of this.
So she kind of had it coming, though, and here's why. Like, if somebody's been in the bathroom for a little while, and you're like, what is taking so long in there? Like, you already know. You don't have to ask. You know what's happening in there.
Yeah, but still, maybe it was more of a like, hey, you need to hurry up. We need to get out the door. And he could have been like, I just need like 5 more minutes.
I know the door's closed and the fan's running and I can smell it from the backyard, but you really got to hurry this thing up.
Someone said, I was on an airplane recently sitting next to a stranger. Within 10 minutes, she told me her entire dating history, her ex's problems, why she was considering moving states. I didn't even know her name yet. But by the time we ended up landing, I knew more about her than some of my closest friends.
One of those TMI moments. You got too much.
Yeah, so I was at my apartment and my roommate had just came home. She swung the front door open and was in a panic and needed the bathroom, and our other roommate was in there at the time. So I just figured she had to go to the bathroom really bad. And then she did her thing, and she came out of her bedroom later that night, and she told us that she couldn't hold it for our roommate to come out of the bathroom, so she took the blender into her room from the kitchen, and she just went to the restroom in the blender, and then decided to tell us afterwards that she sterilized it. But that was something that we definitely did not need to hear, that she did something like that to a kitchen appliance.
I disagree. If somebody does that with a blender, I want to know to never use that blender.
Well, we'll never be able to do anything with those blenders, but we were joking, saying we should make margaritas that night.
Ew. Gross.
Can you imagine if somebody shared that information while you were drinking
That's
something?
what I assumed happened. Like they had already, you might not want to use that. Well, what do you mean? We're already.
As you're having a margarita or a smoothie or something, and they're like, oh my God, okay, so I did sterilize it, but I've spit that, like, you haven't even told me the information yet. I'm spitting it out. I'm probably gagging.
Never using it.
Oh, Lord. Ah.
Someone said, I had a coworker tell me every detail about their surgery recovery, not just I'm feeling better. They gave me a timeline, symptoms, pictures, play by play. And I was like, I support you, but you don't need to give me all of this.
TMI.
Well, I was in the drugstore one day in the ladies aisle. The woman is looking at, the creams and stuff that you would use for a yeast infection. And so she just asked me, like, which one she should get. And I told her I wasn't really sure, but I've used that one or whatever, and it was good. And she just goes into why she's got a yeast infection and UTI and how she's recently divorced. And now she's dating again, and she's making the rounds of having casual sex, and she's getting yeast infections, and it was just, couldn't believe she was telling me all this.
Meanwhile, you're just like, well, have fun with that. It's really more than you need to learn at the Walgreens or CVS or whatever.
Someone said my grandma has no concept of TMI. She told me all about her colonoscopy prep while I was eating breakfast. She was describing everything. And I was like, Grandma, I love you, but I'm literally eating right now.
You've ruined these Cocoa Puffs for me, Nana.
Ew.
Ruined them.
That's gross.
Uh-huh.
Someone else said, my husband thought it was hilarious to tell our friends about the time I got food poisoning while we were on vacation. He included details I would like erased from history. Nothing says romance like your spouse telling everyone your worst bathroom story.
TMI.
Oh, yeah, so I had this coworker, and I'm just sitting in the office, and she comes in, and without any, I'm not even asking. She just volunteers this information, all this stuff she did with some guy the night before in the bedroom. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, why do I even care? This isn't penthouse letters. You're not even that attractive. Stop talking.
I don't really know how a person's supposed to respond either. Like, oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, because now it's just like, is she just crazy? Is she coming on to me? And then nowadays with everything sexual harassment, you don't even know how to respond. You're just like, well, that's fine, and you go back to your work. Because if you say, wow, that's hot, or you ask for more information, she might be like, you're sexually harassing me, and then next thing you know, you're out of a job and you're the pervert.
Someone said, okay. Someone said, this is embarrassing. I was getting my hair done and my stylist asked how my weekend was. And I started telling her how my husband and I had an argument. And I didn't realize I went from we had this disagreement to basically explaining our entire marriage problems. My stylist just stood there like a therapist. And at the end, she goes, well, I hope you guys work it out. I walked out thinking, why did I just tell her my entire life story?
You know what? There's certain professions, though, where I think people unload and maybe even that person's, I think sometimes they're prepared for it, sometimes they're not.
I think, yeah, they can be prepared for it, but just going from how was your weekend to just, and this is everything that's gone wrong. Oh my God.
Well, think about it. Hairstylists.
Yes.
Bartenders.
Yeah.
I think sometimes servers probably too, especially if there's still alcohol involved. There's probably others. I think we get that sometimes where we're kind of caught off guard by it, where we're just at some happy-go-lucky event. And because, think of some of the stuff that happens on this show. It's just like, hey, what's going on with you lately? And people just lay out some of the darkest stuff. And it's like,
whoa.
Okay, so if you want to register for that free camper, it's over there.
Someone said my nephew told my boyfriend, my aunt said she wasn't going to date anyone unless they're rich. And I never actually said that. But kids just take one sentence you say as a joke and they turn it into something.
Maybe that's a little bit like what happened when you found out that your sister didn't like your son's name from your niece. What
kind of joke would my sister be making about my son's name? Either way, why were you talking about it that my niece heard and then she spit that information back out at me? I even said, you don't like the name Brooks? And she said, well, not me, but Mama. And I said,
oh, boy.
Mama,
maybe
come
she
here.
Doesn't like it for a cat.
That's what they tried to explain. But no.
I'm sure that's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And my sister's like, you really want me to name our new cat after your son? And I said, that's the only way to fix this situation now.
I think that's what's going to happen.
I agree.
There's no better way to fix that, obviously.